Golem said, Lean, help me, I'm trapped. Lean said, Yee, I'll try and get Gelasamoto to let us out. Golem went to check the punishment room, where a robot was giving Ganganel a spanking, though he seemed to enjoy it. Ganganel said, hit it, gang. Golem asked, do you got room for one more? The robot said, you have not committed an act fitting for a punishment. In the cell, where Lean has come for another visit a while ago, Oramoto is meditating and aura farming on the floor. His face looks like a man's face who shot a puppy. Oramoto gets up and monologues. I have truly failed my father and my ancestors. Years of work, preparation, dedication, and I couldn't even finish the work on my own. And now his son is up there. What really changed? And he says, Nanini, as he feels his body get weaker. Lean said, is something wrong, Oramoto? I can sense your aura weakening. Oramoto says, my mission was a failure. Quartersan took my aura away. The moment he blew out the elevator ceiling and ran the shaft walls up the tower, the very aura was crushed I had so long farmed. I just stood there while the work was being done above. Lean said, we're going to get you your aura back. That's a promise. Oramoto puts his hand in a fist and says, yes, I must become better than this, better than ever before, and he feels his power glow in his chest. He asks, Lean-san, is your acidic nut technique progressing? Lean said, I will test it now. He drops his pants and starts up the jackhammer, aiming at a wall, and the acid burns a tiny hole in it. Bakago, a leader of a subsidy gang, is looking at Oramoto pissed off, but blushing a bit, and says, nonsense, all of you. Oramoto screams, amazing. Lean said, mine will take a while to recharge. Then Lean traveled to the president's mansion from the prison with his flying car to meet the new president, Gelasamoto, his nephew. Lean walks through the front door of the mansion and sees Dementono with his VR goggles on walking around aimlessly. Button is crying upstairs, the adopted 1-year-old. Gelasamoto is in the office upstairs. Fasiko is mourning her son's death in her bedroom. Lean asked, how are things going? Gelasamoto gets up from his chair, which is in front of a broken window. He turns around and says, brilliant, uncle. At first I was devastated, but I have never felt so strong. It was destiny. I was meant for this, and we will become better than ever. With Mechababe, we will be the best. Just wait when the replicas are produced. Dad was always such a fucking nerd. He didn't know what to do with his toys. Lean said, true, what exactly is Mechababe? Gelasamoto said, Naini, you live under a rock. Well, I suppose father was secretive about his designs of many kinds. Mechababe is a 70-story robot, currently residing inside the skyscraper behind the hangar. Lean said, well, I know that, but what does it do? What will we be using it for? Gelasamoto said, father built it for his pride and hanging it out there for everyone else in the world. It has rockets built in for festivities, and it was designed for flight, so it can be presented at other locations. It has an AI inside it. It is alive and smart. We, however, with some tweaks for upcoming replicas, we can use it to attack our enemies. We already have the power. Lean said, remarkable. I'd love to see it sometime. Then Lean traveled back to the prison, where Golem approached him, with them two forming an alliance. Golem said, Yo Lean, I know we've been talking on the main chat throughout. Haven't talked one-on-one before. You know this quarter guy, and have played with him before. Heard stuff from my other tribe about him. Lean said, oh yes, I know him very well. He's notorious for being arguably the best player the game has ever seen. Golem said, that's low-key what I heard. I heard he's a major snake, like can't be trusted. Then I heard this game shit, and he a god in it, like the story where he a beast. Any advice from the games you played? Lean said, anyway, he's definitely our biggest threat once we get to the merge. Be as active as you can, participate in RP, and just ally with the right people. Third one is easier said than done. Loki, I have a good feeling about you. I think you've got great potential, You took the initiative to make an alliance with me. Golem said, count me as someone on your side. Lean said, in my old tribe, I was allied with Space Wolf. I told Space Wolf I would try and take him to the top 2 with me since he was my day 1. However, there is a very good chance he isn't making it to the Grand Merge. The people he's in a tribe with, Quarter, Mal, and Rebek, I guarantee Quarter and Mal are going to be together. Golem asked, who you thinking to vote? Ix said, Cheesy. Golem said, cool, that's who I voted. Golem said, just want to tell you where I think my vote is going. I think I'm going Cheesy for this vote, just because I have absolutely no connection to them. Next vote, I will defer to you who you want next, as I want to keep this working relationship. Lean said, well, if we're allies, then we should vote together. That's just how it usually goes in the game. Otherwise, it's harder to eliminate someone. I'll change mine to Cheesy. Golem said, appreciate it. You got the next shot call. Then Cheesy was eliminated. Cheesy died of a heart attack. Golem said, rest in peace. There was nothing worth adapting that happened during this day. It was a quiet day as the tribe didn't need to vote today.